Hi, this is Jiyoung from Seoul, South Korea. Happy Jiyoung. Can you see that I'm happy? I was really sad and depressed and hopeless until this, like, let's say 3 a.m. because I've been observing or watching what's going on in China more than a month ago. This is my YouTube history. So January 26th, I started to watch this Wuhan young man's video, and I started to dive into what's going on.
希望每个能看到我视频的朋友们都能够比较珍惜我这个视频，因为实在是发之不易。在我们中国大陆，是吧？要翻墙，要克服各种各样的困难，而且网络延迟特别的卡，所以我也是被逼无奈才跑到这个位置，是吧？希望有更多的华人同胞，有更多心地善良的人能够看到，能够注意到这次武汉肺炎所谓的冠状病毒这次疫情的严重性和我们本地人生活的一个实际情况。现在整个武汉市所有的
Like a day and night, I've been just observing what's going on since China, the Wuhan time, that things were happening there. And then also it happened to Korea now. And then I see what's going on in USA, Iran, Japan, all these things. And I wanted to share some practical information or useful information for your life. And because I'm really scientific, I wanted to put all things together and show you all the proof and all the news and article and link and scientific research paper and everything. But I felt like so much information that I have to gather to finally send you or share that information. So I've been delaying because I felt so overwhelmed, and also I was really depressed. But I just realized I decided to just share what's going on. So you are a little bit, you have a better, clearer perspective and information, so you can decide and prepare for yourself. Okay, so I've been watching what's going on in China before Korea got hit by this Covid19 situation. So the numbers and all the statistics coming from China government, it's not true. It's so much worse, and so much more people died, and still like so many dead people, like dead bodies are cremated there. And then, you know, like maybe, so, I don't know if you saw that some people fell down middle of the road or something in China, that kind of clip. I also was not sure if it's really true or that kind of situation, but Korea had that too. Like South Korea had that, those situation happened in the beginning. But the official, you know, they tested them and then it came out negative. And you know, this test kit, the sensitivity is not like accurate. It's not 100%. Even China, the accuracy is like 30 something percent, less than 50%. And US too, they also shared the accuracy of the test, the PCR, yeah, the real-time PCR test kit. Result is not accurate, right? And Korea has our own developed kit. Although we test a lot, but still it's not accurate. So we had a suspicion if it's all accurate or not too. So anyway, so that's the situation also. So anyway, the thing is, this is not common flu that you need to know. And the first thing, I think, I knew how serious this one was. So I was like living like I was living in a lockdown city on my own, because I saw what's going on and I researched the research paper from the Wuhan virology, you know, scientists and everything. They were experimenting with this SARS-CoV, this virus with the HIV virus, like inserting the segment and all these things. That's why it is so contagious and so powerful to connect to the human body's ACE2 receptor. So they say recently another scientist, they published a paper saying like it is like 1,000 times more stronger to attach to the human body cell with the ACE2 receptor or something. So it's really, really easily get infected style. So, but people don't realize it until they hit by this infection, right? So now Korea, like South Korea, the Daegu city, there are so many people tested positive, right? And I didn't imagine that South Korea will have the same situation like Wuhan, right? Although the Wuhan video that I watched in the beginning time, that there were so many people at the hospital, they wanted to get tested, but they didn't get tested, and many people had to just go home and wait, and many people died, and all family members were infected. That is going on in Korea too. So, for example, right now, since a few days ago, several people died while waiting at home and also while waiting to be tested, because South Korean government now, they have a plan to frame this incident, the exponential growth of the infected people, that thing. They have a plan they have a goal to frame that to this cult like Shincheonji hospital, no, not hospital, Shincheonji kind of cult church goers. So they only tested those people in Daegu who went to Shincheonji church, or who went to China, or who has close contact with the confirmed case people. So other people who had symptoms, they wanted to get tested to go to the hospital. Like the designated clinics, they wouldn't test for them. And 2 or 3 days ago, one man who had a liver transplant, he died while waiting for all this situation within 5 days, since he got the symptom and tried to get tested and going here and there and all this and cold and all these things. So that happened. And one guy also, he posted a petition on Blue House. Blue House is Korea's presidential like a website that people can do the petition request. So one guy, he published a petition about his situation. He wanted to get tested too, but he couldn't get tested too. So I knew that situation because I watched one woman's YouTube video that she came back from Chiang Mai, Thailand, and she had the symptoms of the coronavirus kind of symptoms. So she wanted to get tested and she couldn't get it because also she wasn't fitted into this criteria. So that happened. And since this Korean government was focused on testing only all these church people to blame these people, I know that they were not very transparent of all these people and the list, and then their where they went to and who they met and all these things. I know I don't like them either, but I can see what they are doing. So anyway, that was the situation in Korea. So South Korea, we have very good medical system, but now we cannot, in Daegu, they cannot handle it anymore right now. So they have more than 1,700 people who got confirmed. They are still waiting at their house, and some of people are dying. It says, while waiting, many people are dying. The old
음악 병실 장비들을 갖출 수는 있는데 이게 보통 병실을 음악 병실을 만드는 것 자체도 시간이 좀 걸리고 뭐 계획이 있다 하지만 지금 증가하는 환자 수를 따라갈 수는 없는 상황.
The older people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or those people, and then also the people who had a pre-existing conditions like heart disease or some liver plant or transplant or diabetes or some situation they had, they are the one who's suddenly getting really, really fast, progressing the symptoms, and they died. That kind of situation is going on. So now they had a conference press yesterday, and they changed the system now because they realized now they had like 20 or some people who doesn't have symptoms, but they still get the test positive. So they were just staying at the hospital basically. But this all serious symptom old elderly people were dying because they couldn't go to the hospital. They didn't have a room, like a ward to go. So they now changing the system, like the guideline or the state, like who's like that prioritizing like light symptom people, like middle symptom people, or the serious symptom people, and all these things. So now they are changing that and all that kind of thing going on. So even if you have a great medical system, like now so many doctors and nurses got infected, then many medical steps, they have to stay home alone, like 14 days quarantine now. So now they are so short with nurses and medical doctors, but mostly nurses right now. Of course, no rooms too. So they are now communicating with the different, like for example, for USA like situation, like different states, they are now communicating, sending this patient to the other state kind of thing, the next nearby state, because the Daegu, the city, they cannot take anyone, right? So that kind of thing going on. So now also they changed the rule of these people, like if they will keep them in the hospital or not, that kind of thing, right? So now if they don't have symptoms, if they are doing fine, living life, then they can discharge them. So that's the situation. And also I was watching news from Japan. Also Japan, they declared they won't test anymore or something, because I was feeling so depressed and hopeless, because I know this thing is so easily contagious, right? Then how can people, even if in the beginning we were really good at keeping track of infected people and trace and like quarantine, the shutdown, the clinics and the movie theater or the department store, the people went and all these things. But now we cannot do that anymore, kind of situation. And then also, like they do the temperature check and stuff. But even in China, the people who had like serious, like they had like published their statistics with the patients and the symptoms and the temperature and all these things. Like 50-something% of people didn't have a high fever or anything. So you cannot only determine who has a virus with a temperature check. So at the airport or other place, at the subway, we don't do that in subway or in entrance of subway, the temperature check, but that doesn't anyway screen out perfectly, right? Even after people discharge, after treated and then get the negative result, they again in Korea, we had two people, I think, got again tested positive. So 14-day, the time is not also the maximum time. There are 24-day people who after being close to the confirmed people, and they now get tested positive. And one son, we had a Wuhan people who lived in Wuhan, the Korean people who lived in Wuhan, who came back to Korea, and they had a quarantine time for 14 days. And son of this man, he got positive result, and his father is still getting negative results. So this kind of thing, this can be inaccurate, or the virus can be not so much, and then it doesn't come out as a positive too. So there's no way we can screen out perfectly and then control this virus. So I saw this scientist from Harvard. He said 70% of population, the Earth population, humanity will be infected by this COVID-19. So he said probably we might just have to live with this virus like a seasonal flu or something kind of life. So of course, if you are young and healthy, then 80% of the people, they say, just have a mild symptoms or even no symptoms. So it's not really serious situation like other people would say it's like flu. But it's the thing that I wanted to share is the fact it's not flu is, have you seen whole family got infected and whole family died within 17 or 20 something days period? In China, there's a famous movie director. he has a money and he's like a higher than medium, like a middle class, like monetarily he's not like poor. He has all the money to go to hospital, but when the hospital is full, he cannot take his father who got infected or a mom and himself and anyone, and all these 4 people died. Only his son who is studying abroad in UK, he's not that dead, that kind of situation. So I watch all this like online diary or the video or the things and stories in China that whole family got infected and died kind of situation. So you thought it's because the Chinese, that Wuhan city or that Hebei province or that place, they didn't have a good medical system. Because of that, they died like that, but it's not. Because in Korea, I can see this is happening in Korea too. Only thing that the hospital is not like filled with all these people waiting and going crazy or something is because we had a system just to call and say stay home and that kind of situation. That's why the hospital is not like filled with people, desperate people right now, right? So that's the situation. So I wanted to share that kind of situation so you know what's coming, or so you what can be happening in your life too, right? But the good news is I felt like so hopeless because like I know some essential oils are powerful and they kill the virus and I know all these things, but I wasn't sure if I can really I wasn't sure if I can really this will work 100% if I get infected by this, and if I use this On Guard blend and essential oil and all this, I wasn't sure if I will be fine or not. So I decided to just stay home and just living like a self-quarantine life or that kind of isolation life. But yesterday I watched the YouTube from the Korean YouTuber who shared information between the Wuhan doctors and Daegu doctor and then US doctor. And this Korean doctor emailed someone and he wanted to know the doctors in Wuhan, how they are treating the patients, right? Because they don't know. This is first time they had this coronavirus impact people filled up with a hospital and how to treat them and that kind of situation, right? So he wanted to know how to treat or all that. So he got the information from the Wuhan doctor and then all this information. So there's a research papers came out from Wuhan and all this thing, and they share all the information. So one of the major official treatment thing that they share was vitamin C mega dose, and also vitamin D is really powerful for virus thing too. So, but anyway, so I'll put the link, that video. He's speaking in Korean, but their email communication is Korean and English together, so you can read it, what they are talking, and also you can see all the research paper link. I heard mainstream media doesn't want public to know this mega dose vitamin C is effective with the Wuhan, strain. So anyway, so after knowing that, I've been taking more vitamin C that I was anyway intaking, but I was doing more and then more MSM and all this thing, but still I wasn't confident, right? But I watched the video like at 3 a.m. today, and then I saw the comment from one man from Daegu. Daegu is like they had like 2,000, more than 2,000 or so many thousands of people got infected. They have a positive, cases, and like more than 1,700. I don't know now today right now how many people are waiting, but until I saw yesterday, the latest number was 1,700 people are waiting at home and not getting treated, right? So he saw that he researched it and he knew about the vitamin C thing. So he ordered vitamin C and stuff, and he was taking more vitamin C with his mom. His mom was also coughing and having all these symptoms and had a hard time. But after taking that, their symptoms are subsided and then they are feeling better, right? So this is I feel so touched. So this is the reply from the young man in Daegu. He's in his 20s and he's waiting at home, and he doesn't know when he will be admitted to hospital, and also he's not sure and he's worried and curious like what kind of treatment he will get when he get into the hospital. And also I heard it's like right now they might be just using really strong antibiotics, and also they don't have like a cure for this. And let's see, and he's worried that he will be just staying in the hospital, not getting like really active treatment. And maybe what if just staying at home and getting vitamin C megadose is better, that kind of thinking he has. And but anyway, let's see. So he said after watching that Chen, he watched his video about the vitamin C, and he ordered vitamin C, and at home he was intaking the high dose of vitamin C for 1 week, and his dry cough is gone and almost no symptom now. But sometimes irregularly he's doing diarrhea, but not much stomach ache. And the diarrhea and little bit like the stomach, that pain feeling a little bit. No, he said not much stomach pain feeling. So like if you take a lot of vitamin C, you get the diarrhea kind of situation if you are not slowly dosing up. So anyway, so he has that. And right after eating food, he took that, and then he had also like you have a little bit like the stomach acid feeling, and also what you call this thing he had. And he had duodenal ulcer. But he didn't have some feeling in the stomach, or like a really bad something. It was fine. And also for his mother, he's monitoring his mom too. And after having 4th day after he started the megadose, the muscle pain and the chill feeling is gone. And still she didn't have like appetite for food, and a little bit weak. But that it was that was because the meal wasn't very delicious. And when there was a delicious side dishes, she was eating well, and he's now not worried, right? And then he's sharing, the doctors who's checking on him on the phone, they are monitoring him. And although it's only from the phone call, he feels sincerity from their thing, that he can feel that the doctors are really trying their best to help them, that kind of feeling. And he says he can imagine the people or the hospital, like staffs and the young doctors at the clinic and the people, they are doing their best. And he imagined that and think about that, and he was crying, and he's so grateful for their effort and help. And at the ending says, we overcome this situation, and we vote right people. Like right now, South Korean president, he's not doing things for Koreans. He's really compromised by China, and he's prioritizing Chinese people actually. So he says like he says I'll join the effort to make the not good country, so these doctors or these staffs, they don't have to have a hard time, or they don't have to do a hard work or something. He says that at the end. So anyway, so after reading this, I was so relieved and happy and feeling so hopeful, and not the hopeful, but I know for sure this is the answer and solution. So I felt like, oh my god, I was feeling so relieved and so happy, and also happy for him. And so many people reply, 244 people reply to cheer for him and wish him the best and recovery and stuff, right? And then just now I just see this one lady. She said she was like she's been taking vitamin C anyway, but after this situation, she was living in Beijing, and she was like, what you call, oh my god, I have a runny nose and stuff. Crazy shit. She was this like work like the high official employee from, I think, government kind of person, I think. So she quit her work in February, and she came back to Korea, and she's been doing self-quarantine for 14 days. Now it's over 20 days, and she's healthy and well, and she's been to that international airport with so many Chinese, and 3 times, and she didn't get infected, and she wanted to share her experience. So she did always the mask and the gloves and the hand sanitizer thing, and also she was doing like vitamin C mega dose on her own, because she was anyway the regular life. She was very interested in the supplement, so she was taking several supplements, and she had a like background knowledge that the vitamin C mega dose has a strong power for immunity. So she was busy, so she wasn't taking it that well. And after the coronavirus outbreak, she started to do vitamin C mega dose, and she was out doing outing and this, and came back to Korea, and she's very healthy. And she says usually she easily gets pain when she's sick or that kind of situation, but she's healthy and safe is because she was very strongly regularly taking this vitamin C mega dose, and she feels very confident. It's because of this truth about the vitamins. After she watched this video, and she realized that's because of that for sure. So she says, please everyone cheer up, or have a like a cheer up and take the vitamin C for sure. And all the staff and medical people and the YouTuber who's sharing the knowledge, thank you so much, that kind of message. So yeah, it's amazing. So don't feel panic, and know this information, and do this, and save your life, or be safe and healthy. Which means even if they went to hospital, they could be discharged anyway, right? So that is great. So after reading his comment, I was like, oh my god, I felt so relieved, and I felt so happy for him that that they are not in the danger, right, anymore. So because they can, I guess the virus cannot replicate anymore or something with that vitamin C and D or something. So I feel so happy for him, and so many people were so happy to hear that and cheering for him. But one of the thing was the Daegu doctor. He is in psychiatrist department kind of doctor, so he shared that news with the other doctors in hospital or something in Daegu, but they don't take that method or something. So he expressed that he's crying and he's feeling so sad and that kind of situation. So I felt like people like us, like grassroots, all these our real local citizens, we have to share this information and we have to educate ourselves and study that research paper and then decide if you think this is, of course it's true, it's scientifically they proven and they researched, they officially opened it and published it, right? And they guide it also as an official treatment method. So yeah, anyway, so we have this 2 meters, which means 6 feet social distancing thing. So I didn't breathe just because I don't wear right now a mask, so I don't want to blow my breath in case to other people. So anyway, so anyway, that's the situation. So I feel like there are several like remdesivir, which was AIDS, like the drug or things like that. But anyway, so this vitamin C thing, I know like usually it's like intravenous injection is stronger because you can take a mega dose with a needle and stuff that way. But still, like I saw that they were taking internally and their symptoms were subsiding and it's working. So that is great, right? So I feel like in the beginning time, people should, if they don't have a help from the hospital or whatever, they should do that, right? Before it goes out of control, the virus is like replicating and you cannot do anything after it's too much in your system, right? So anyway, so I feel like this is amazing news to share. Yeah, anyway, that's one thing. So another thing I wanted to share, how it is impacted, right? So in Korea, Korea has a lot of churches. Church is like a business in Korea. So, not only this cult-like church people get infected, but there are other churches also. They, through this vice pastor of one mega church, he went to the same hospital or that what is it? Funeral at that same hospital. We had a lot of that, like the many people died. They were in the nursing home with a really, and they were in the psychiatry locked up, hospital, but they got infected. And people were wondering, how come they got infected? They didn't go out from the hospital, right? But, they tested in the beginning, 100 out of 102 tests got positive. And many people from that hospital died because they were malnourished and they live in the like a really not so high hygiene kind of situation. Why it could be the origin of the more crazy virus infecting like origin place there. There are so many like reasons it can be. But anyway, the main thing is when you are in the indoor with so many people, this virus is passing through the aerosol, and also by droplets, like when you talk and when you cough and when you sneeze and when you touch, when you had this thing with your object or a phone and the doorknob and all this, it can be transmitted. And also like a fecal matter and also urine had this virus. RNA came out when they tested it. So through the pipe too, it can be going through like the fan. For example, if you are living in a multi-complex apartment building or office building or some kind of building, that you get the air coming up or the pipe from the sewage system, and you have that air coming out into your bedroom or your place, you will have that virus in your air, so you can get contact, you can get infected from that kind of method too. So but the really high possibility for getting infected is when you are in indoor, so the air has this virus and you breathe in that virus. when you're outdoor, it's not as strong or high chance, I think. Like as long as I'm not right next to the person who's infected with the virus, I think. But anyway, so that's how. So even like I'll give you some example. A few days ago, let's say, there's one woman. She got infected, got tested positive because she was in an elevator with this vice pastor of this mega church. They were in the same elevator for less than 1 minute, and both of them didn't wear mask. So she got infected within 1 minute being in the same elevator. And also another people in the like building, there are, let's say, 8th floor people. So many 8th floor people got infected, but not the 7th floor people kind of situation. Even I was reading other incidents when they had a SARS in Hong Kong or something. They also had a similar thing, like same level, like a floor people. A lot of people got infected, but the lower floor people didn't get infected or something. So they were suspicious of maybe they touched the same let's say 7th floor thing, and then that thing, and then it can go into your eyes or something, or your nose or this, right? So also when I watched this video from China, Wuhan, the Wuhan local people urgently share the fact about this virus. It's so infectious, and they were giving warning to stay home, don't go out, don't meet anyone. That was their advice. So I knew this is serious, so I had an awareness. Also, it can be infected through your eyes. So recently, they also found out with your eye thing, and then it had a virus coming out. So for sure, the eye. So that's why you have to wear the goggle thing. The covering perfectly that you don't get the air coming into your eye thing. So I know, like if I'm in a really seriously infected place or indoor, I wouldn't go out like this right now. And right, so since I'm outdoor nature with the blowing air, and I'm not next to someone, so I feel still safe. Yeah, that's the situation. So yeah, so we don't get the crazy shopping thing going on in Seoul. Still people are going to cafes, although many people didn't go to work. And I know some people who's teaching things some social welfare, some coach, and also even I was taking YouTube video course, YouTube training, a trainer certificate course, and we stopped going to the classes anymore. I was also concerned if I have to go or not, kind of feeling. But this teacher, he got a message from the government to not conduct indoor classes, so we stopped that. So last weekend I was supposed to go to class, but we didn't go, and then the school didn't start. Today they were supposed to start the class, new semester, but they didn't start. So now there's some classes are stopped and universities stopped, and some people don't go to work. Today I met friend, and he's a hair stylist, and then also he's a Zumba instructor. All Zumba instructor, they got out of work right now, because also we had a Zumba through Zumba class, many people got infected, because I love Zumba class. So when you work out, you breathe a lot, and then you breathe in those virus air. That's why so many people got infected through these Zumba instructors going different classes and things.
충남 천안에서는 40대 여성 등 확진자 2명이 더 나왔습니다. 최근 이 지역 증가세가 뚜렷한데
강사와 접촉한 40명이 확진 판정을 받았는데 이 천안 전체 확진자가 70명이니까 절반을 훨씬 넘습니다. 여기에 확진자 가족 16명이 감염된 것까지 더하면 사실상 천안 감염자 10명 가운데 8명이 댄스 교습장에서 나온 셈입니다.
They got a lot of Zumba class related thing. So anyway, the main key is don't go to the indoor that you breathe in the same air. And also about the mask. So I know in USA, your government says it doesn't help much or that kind of thing. It's not true in Korea or in China. We know, in Korea, there was this guy who there were 2 incidents I saw. One man who went to China He came back, I think it's China or whatever. So anyway, he came back and he was not sure, so he was keep wearing mask. Even at home, he wasn't wearing mask. And then he tested his thing, and then he got tested positive. But all the people he met, because he was wearing mask all the time, even at home, the people around him didn't get infected or something. So that was great example. And then a few days ago, I saw another example. And then because of mask, this was 2 days ago. I was watching the news, and at the Baskin Robbins, there were like a delivery man waiting, and then another man there, and then one person was wearing mask, and then one person wasn't, and the person who was wearing mask, he didn't get infected. Yeah, so that is another example. So, and then there's another research paper, the mask is helping, And also the thing is, in Korea, like this COVID-19, you don't know if you are infected and then doing totally fine and you're walking around and talking with the friends and your family members and whatever, right? So, and then but in bus or a subway, if you are wearing mask, they say, in USA, they say, because you are wearing mask, so you have a less chance to touch your face and your mouth and all these things, so you have less chance to get infected. That kind of perspective, that's true. But also, we don't know, I don't know if I'm infected also too, right? Actually, but when I'm wearing mask, I have a mask in my bag. But when I'm wearing mask, like if I talk or sneeze or something, I will have a less chance to give my virus to people around me, right? So since this virus is like a spy, you don't know. So it's great measure to wear a mask, that kind of situation. So I wanted to share. I know like you don't have a mask. We in Korea, like right now we have a crazy thing going on. Our South Korean government, the president, he got elected as a president through the power and the money of China. So we have right now the impeachment petition is going on. So many Korean people couldn't understand because we are still open all our border to China except Wuhan. So all the Chinese are coming every day. And then the Chinese university school students are coming. But now all these South Korean people, we were begging, the funny, all this South Korean government is so corrupt. They are compromised by China, or they serve China as their like a king kind of situation going on right now. So, and then we have a lot of now proofs are coming out to the surface, and many Koreans are shocked to realize that situation right now. So many people are doing petition right now, and we have a number one keyword right now going on is called Chinagate. So many people are hired to do the comment on the social media and YouTube and Korea version of Google, which is Naver, and they comment everywhere and stuff, and they influence Korean people's thoughts and trend and things. And then even like at the protest, this current president, he didn't get elected from the original like official election. Previous president was a woman, and she had doing some not great president thing, and then she got impeached. And then this current president right now, Moon Jae-in, he got elected, but it was through the help of all these Chinese Korean spies and students and all this thing and all this power and money and the protest. And so many people went to that protest, it's like a candlelit protest, and he got elected. And we are now suspecting why he doesn't close the border of the flights coming from China and all these Chinese people coming. It's because we have an election in April, and we suspect that he wants to get the vote from these university students. They are his ally who will put him in power and still get elected or something. He's hoping that kind of plan. That's why he doesn't close the border. And also another thing is, I heard Korea was the middle stop for Chinese Communist Party people or high level people, affluent people to come. And then so they come to Korea and they stay for 14 days, and then they could go to other countries or Europe who block their border to China. So they were using Korea as a the stepping, stone or stepping country to go to other countries. So that kind of situation. So all these people all these countries like Iran, Italy, Thailand, Japan, they all have a same common theme with South Korea. Why they have so many incident with a positive, a virus test result people and death going on is because they all have allies or high ties with the China government. That is because of that. They have a lot of Chinese people in their soil, or even like Italy, they stopped the flight, they say, from China, but it's only direct flight, and all the inland, the border is open, so Chinese people go to other EU country and they could go to Italy. And then they had this year or last year or something, they had a partnership with China, and they had a tourism agreement. And even some area, they had so many Chinese people doing business in Italy. So there are even a Chinese policemen, they are patrolling in Italy. It looks like China, but it was Italy. So that's why they had a lot of Chinese. So because of all that kind of connections. So anyway, when there's the sources are there, they have a higher chance of all these people. And it's crazy. Like South Korean government, they gave so many masks and so many hazmats and even a lot of money, and it's crazy. They gave to China, and we don't have this. Korean people don't have a mask nowadays to buy, and we have a crisis. And also even in hospital, they are running out of hazmat now. That kind of thing going on. It's so crazy. So anyway, so that's South Korean situation is compromised by China power through this president. So that's the situation, real situation in Korea. So anyway, so we had all these people die suddenly that in Korea who got test negative, and it could be fakely got tested results. And even one incident in Busan, they announced this man was getting negative results even within 3 hours. This test doesn't come out within 3 hours. So it's and then still they had all quarantine, and the clinic people, they were doing quarantine for 14 days. So what's that? They say it was negative, then what, right? So anyway, there are so many people dropped in the subway station and outside. Not a crazy China situation still, but we had several social media images and photos going on now in Korea too. From the beginning, there's some rumors, but it's true. It was published on the newspaper, but it's not widely shared on the TV news and stuff. So anyway, that's the situation. So Korea is a 1 month slow than China situation now, maybe. Anyway, this is not just flu. I wanted to let you know. You will see what I mean if you don't believe all this thing. But you have to research on your own, because the reason I knew this is also biologically engineered virus. It's not natural virus, because this woman, the scientist at the Wuhan Virology, she had a lot of research paper published that she was using this SARS-CoV virus, and then she inserted this HIV virus thing into the virus, and then they were experimenting already a lot. And also they captured the vet from the Yunnan province and some other province, and they had incident that scientists got bitten by the vet, and they also published that, and she had a conference, and that footage is out there too, on the newspaper, on the media, everything. So it's out there. It's true that she was engineering this virus. So yeah, you can connect the dot, right? And then I saw what's going on in China, so I knew that. And then now I see what's going on in Korea, so this is true. It's not natural, I feel. But anyway, there are so many scientists saying that. I will share. I put all this, my research and all this thing on my website, happyjiyoung.com, so you can check all these research papers. And then the scientists analyzing this virus with there's open source thing. They can sequence the virus and they can check genome it has and sequence and all that stuff. So it's 89% same as CoV SARS or something. And then there's 4 different segments with HIV or something. And then recently there's another paper coming out, and then they say other things. Anyway, it's engineered thing. There are so many proofs, and the articles, even from China, like they didn't delete, like this fact about some scientist labs, like saying. So it's like out there. They didn't delete that. That means like they are not hiding it now anymore. And this Xi Zhongli, that's the scientist, the woman, her many Chinese people were like accusing her of doing this thing, and she was saying she didn't do it. Even if she didn't do it, she did engineering. That's true, and she had all this media, thing that came out to the public, so it cannot be erased. And her thing, and then the reply from other scientists saying, we all know you did engineer the virus thing, she said, and all this other debate, and it wasn't deleted, which means the China government, they are not trying to hide this fact. So I don't know, we were like the netizens were assuming even Chinese government just leave it there so she can be the blame or something, that kind of situation. So anyway, the thing I wanted to say is this virus is not natural. It's really, really contagious and dangerous. And even if you are living in a first world country with a good medical system, there is an inevitable that you cannot stop this. Like even with a temperature check and oops. So my smartphone battery was dead in the middle of recording, and I'm home now. So I don't know what I was talking. So like in Korea, so mostly a lot of the infection situation is happening in church or Catholic church or Catholic church or that kind of church gathering or the religious gathering that is happening indoor, and like being very close to each other kind of situation, and also nursing homes and hospitals, and like the Zumba class kind of indoor, like breathing like heavy and breathing in, that kind of situation. And also when people have a meal together next to each other and sharing maybe saliva, and talking close to each other kind of situation. So yeah, and also like between family members, it's so easily get infected whole family member because it's so easily like contagious. So if one family member is infected, like you have to like live in a separate room and like a really like distant, and use different like utensils and towels, and you have to be very careful with the bathroom using, and cover your bathroom like the toilet cover, so your urine or your thing doesn't come out when you flush the toilet. That kind of situation, you have to be careful. Yeah, there are so much to be careful, I think, if you are living with someone. And even like a prison now, the prison, the person in charge and the prisoner got infected now. And what else? Yeah, prison, like that means it's so contagious, it's so easily. So I was watching another interview with
Dr. Gong Zuojiong, the director of infectious diseases at Wuhan University's Renmin Hospital. He's been researching infectious diseases for over 30 years. He got his postgraduate from Leuven University in Belgium, and he was able to take 30 minutes to talk to me. Here's what he had to say.
这个戴口罩作用有多大呢？
公共卫生的角度来说，作为一个呼吸道的传染病，或者是通过一个空气传播或者是飞沫传播的一个疾病，口罩肯定是有用的。不过在美国为什么还没有 CDC 的推荐？我想在西方国家，它肯定还没有的一个人口密度。
对。
像普京啊，这么大人口密度，戴口罩肯定能够预防这一个呼吸道传播疾病的传播的，这是应该是不容置疑的，我觉得是。
您觉得就是在美国这样的，或者就是中国以外的地方，有必要戴口罩吗？现在？
我觉得是这样的。如果不在日出的话，没有明确的流行的话，实际上口罩真正作用是没有太大作用的。个位数的，好比说只是3、5例、上10例，已经得到了有效的管理，我就说已经被 政府已经在治疗，那事实上这个风险还是比较低的，比较低的。但是就是所谓流感流行，你戴口罩也是有帮助的呀，对吧？
是。
As far as masks go, if you're in an area that has a high risk, then masks are good because they also just keep you from touching your nose, your mouth.
And he was saying, he also says mask is really important, but maybe that applies to the like a city like a Korea. We have a dense, the subway or bus or like a crowded kind of a city life people. It's really important to wear a mask. Then big places like US that you have a little bit more spacious distance, then it might not be as like a critical, but still I think if you have more people infected, then mask is really important, I feel. Otherwise you shouldn't go, I feel, to the public or crowded place. About the flu thing, all the people who don't know how serious it is, they say it's like flu, and the person in Wuhan, he said it's not flu, and also there's a thing called R naught. That means that is the ratio, like if the infected person, how many people they can infect. There were many theories or like guess from different scientists, like 2 point whatever, 4.6 or whatever. And also it depends on, how dense city you live or what kind of community you are living or country and culture. That thing also is different. Even if it's same virus, it can be different from other cultural behavior or religious behavior thing like Iran, so anyway, but it's really, really strong. So in the beginning, like you might think flu has a stronger like a starting point, whatever, but it's like exponentially it grow like multiply suddenly at one point. That we were shocked in Korea to see suddenly one day we got like hundreds of positive like people, like the test positive confirmed case came out, and then Italy and spreading out like crazy slowly and then going crazy like this kind of graph. So anyway, as time goes, it goes really, really stiff like a graph. So it's not flu. So I wanted to really emphasize that you have to be really careful. Yeah, I watched so many horrendous videos and so many heartbreaking like incidents and Wuhan situation. So yeah, but we are living in a free country still, so we don't have that kind of inhumane situation going on in South Korea, but still it applies with the infection rate and like the hospital cannot take all these people if the so many people are infected and tested positive suddenly right away. And also South Korea has a great like really, really, we are really good at testing really fast, and like when we have a task, like we stay up, that kind of style. That's great. Like in a way we have a really, it can be curse and it can be strength, but I like to say it can be strength that we can like speed up the test and do our best. And maybe like other country, they didn't test as many cases, that's why it seems like they don't have as much cases on the surface. But yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'll share more videos. Like I wanted to share more practical, something that can be useful for you to be careful and prevent and also treat, or in case, of course it would be best if you have a best care and hospital and staff. But once those, like they say, first hand, like the hospital like staff and medical members, if it's all like ran out, then you cannot expect that first class treatment, right? So then it's handy to know what you can take, what you can be prepared, what you can treat yourself naturally, or if you know any drug or pharmaceutical method that like you research and know that you could use, then you can take care of yourself and your family members or people around you or something, right? So it's always good to know just in case. So yeah, for me, I take really good quality like minerals and vitamins and omega-3 and MSM and iodine and I get sunlight and yeah, all those things. And but also I think when I was immersing myself into this, observing this incident and also see what's unfolding in front of my eyes in South Korea, I felt so fearful and but my fear, my panic, or my depression, I think I was more horrified after knowing about South Korean government situation. The president not transparent and want to suppress the truth. Some YouTubers were sharing information and they were all demonetized from YouTube ad, that partnership thing. All their videos, they talk about China or the COVID-19 or all this situation, they cannot get YouTube ad sharing, a monetization. And then also they got threatened by the troll, but they say troll, but they are for sure hired by China, Korean government in China, with the power and money, they spend time to threaten them and then call to the workplace of this doctor who was sharing the research paper thing, and several people, they quit sharing about the news, this truth, because I feel like it depends. This is really critical thing for our safety and our life, right? It's about life and death situation. So it's so important to know the information, I feel. But yeah, anyway, it's so I felt so hopeless and I felt so depressed and I didn't have any motivation actually, and I didn't go out, I didn't open my door, that kind of life, until this 3 a.m. that I saw that video, that I realized I have a hope and I wanted to share this with more people, and I have a now hopeful perspective. I feel like I don't know how we can end this kind of situation. Then now I know there's a solution that is proven too, kind of feeling. So I feel like I can help people and share. But anyway, so that's what else I can share. What else? So this one, I think, sorry, my video is long and so long and whatever, I don't know. But another really important thing is I know some US states now, they start to see the community spread incident surfacing up. I know they also had a incident like Korea too, South Korea, but maybe a little bit slower because they shut down more directly and faster with the China flights, right? But still, there are a lot of Chinese students and the parents who was visiting and all these things. So for sure there's a lot of cases now, and I know for sure too that people said, the local people, they share the situation from the hospital in New York State. That's not that was not counted in Johns Hopkins statistics, with the COVID-19 statistics. Anyway, they suppressed too the truth. Anyway, but the one thing that I feel is really important, as you experience slowly, like what I was feeling in Korea, as I see this thing is real in Korea too, and people die while waiting at home kind of situation, and feeling so fearful. Although I know 80% can be fine, but still, what if I die, or what if I get a serious situation, or also even if you get treated and have a negative result after treatment, still you have a chance still. Maybe this virus can stay in your system and it comes up when you are tired or when you have a low immune system. That's really highly likely. Because in China they have this incident, and in Japan too, this lady, she got treated and have a negative result, and then after 6 days she again got tested positive too, and in Korea too, this woman too. So like even the 14-day quarantine time is not enough, like 27 or 24 days or something, but still there's some incident in China 40-day incubation time too. So we don't know, how long. And also after you get treated and you got cured, but still you have again, I don't know, reinfected or not. I don't think it's reinfected for now. Those people, I feel it's like the virus is in their system and it's coming out, or the test kit is not also 100% accurate too. So there are so many. Yeah, it's not like a perfectly getting rid of your system kind of style. So I felt like this is like, what is this and how can we live kind of feeling, right? So that's why they say just living with this thing and just try to be healthy and have a high immune system and that kind of thing, right? So I guess that's good approach. But anyway, like so about the emotional thing and the isolation feeling and the panic feeling and the fear and not trusting other people when you go to a restaurant or when you are walking, you feel like, I don't want to, that kind of feeling. You feel like, what if they have a virus, that kind of feeling. So you start to feel like a little bit that way. You start to feel like a distance from people now, that kind of situation. Also many people don't go out, many people just stay home kind of situation too. And it can be a great thing because then we stop spreading this virus. Even if we do this for, let's say, two weeks, let's say, and still like, but you have to live life too, right? And still the virus is in your system. It can be in other people's system, different lag time or the incubation time, and some people are slower, some people are faster to have antibodies and whatever. But anyway, so it's not perfect. So anyway, after you also go back to the community or life, still there's always chance to get infected and all these things. Then if we are constantly being fearful of that kind of thing, then how can we live life too, right? But at least we know there's a high dose vitamin C and vitamin D is helping with a virus, killing virus or reducing or like replicating, preventing from replicating, that kind of thing. There's a scientific, like why it works and why these essential oils working and which pathway they are working, or that kind of thing. So there's a science. So like some solution, then you are confident that as long as you know how to do it, but to do it in case you feel like you start to have a symptom, and when you take this and you reduce that, and then you can manage your life, or you don't have a going out of control virus situation or something. So anyway, that is good news. So we have to think about our emotions and like the life. Like for example, if I didn't know there's a solution, I would be at home today, would be just keep watching the news. And many people today, I realized after meeting my friend, he invited me for the lunch at his home. Suddenly he didn't have to go to work because it shut down the school. He's a professor, and then his partner, he's also he didn't go to work anymore these days. Many people don't go to work because people don't want to do any activities outside. So his hairstylist, like a business, is on pause now, and then Zumba class is on pause too. So they suddenly have a free time, and they were taking it as a blessing. They are so amazing. I feel they are really positive and really kind, and with a very good spirit, and they were sharing how they were feeling, or they are still like they take it as this is great incident that we can spend time together kind of way, because one of my friend, he's American, so he was in the States, so he just came back a few days ago, and then they took this situation as, oh, now we finally got to see each other after I stayed in the States for 3 months, like 2.5 months, and he came back, and now they can spend time together. So they go to nature early in the morning and they meditate and that kind of thing, right? So that's so nice to hear. When I was feeling so lonely and so alone and so panic, I felt, because I didn't work too, I didn't have money. I ordered all these vitamins and all these things, but I didn't have money to buy food. So when I watch people buying like food, or they didn't want to go out, so they order food from online, or they buy like a long period of time food thing. Or when I watch YouTube from the USA perspective, the American, many people buy and prepare. They buy all this thing, and just in case lockdown situation, or a 2 weeks thing, or several months, or like some scientist, he advised to at least 3 months or less, whatever. But I don't even have money to buy food for today. For example, I didn't have money today to eat food, kind of feeling. But my friend invited me for lunch, so I came to his house, and I posted a message on my other social media for my fans to help me, and I'll pay back or support or donation or that kind of thing. I put the message out there. It was hard to say or announce that kind of news, because I felt like that's so bad, that I don't have money kind of situation, right? So I didn't want to like say that, but I felt like life is important, in case somehow I feel like somehow I need money to eat food and to be healthy, kind of feeling. And I feel like maybe I have to put down my pride and then ask for help. So that's why I posted that. And then really thankfully, one of my follower, he asked my PayPal account email address, so I gave him, and then he sent me $300 US. So I was so grateful, and I was crying from so much gratitude, and I felt like so much hope and positive outlook about this earth and humanity kind of feeling, while my own life. So anyway, so I feel, when I was staying at home watching all this news, I felt like responsible to understand what's going on. I kept thinking I have to share this, that's why I was kind of observing to share. But also at the same time, I feel I watched so much. I spent 40 days, day and night, whole my time, and I didn't know how to put all this together, kind of feeling. And also I was really low motivated state, so I didn't really share as fast as I could. But anyway, about this thing, I feel our mental, emotional health is really important as well with this situation as progress, because I could feel, after learning about our government in South Korea, I was so shocked, and I felt so shaking feeling with a terror. Like I felt more terror with the government than the virus itself. Although other countries who watch the mainstream media, they think South Korean government is transparent and all the number is accurate. But I don't think so. I don't think it's all accurate. Of course, we have a lot of tests and a lot of more transparent, but still it's not 100%. I don't think. But anyway, so I also the time they open up, where all this test result came out, they intentionally share with all these cult like church people results. They accumulate that, and then they say whatever percentage of thing is coming from this cult. they have that frame. That's their strategy, you know. Maybe some people might disagree with me, but I can see the pattern, and many people think like that too. But that is my opinion, you know. We will see after all this thing is over, and we accuse him, we put him on the like a law, like a justice, and we will see what he's done. Yeah. Anyway, so as this virus situation is progressing in USA, they only had a few people confirmed case, but now people are going crazy, buying things. Like in Korea, it's not like that. We are still fine, without thousands of cases still. I guess, I don't know, in a way we are, in a way maybe like I guess in Daegu I know like it's like worse than Seoul still, but I know Seoul might be as bad as Daegu, but we didn't have a test, that's why we don't have it. Maybe it can be their strategy too, so Seoul people can feel more relaxed now, they can enjoy life more now. But still, it's anyway, it's same, you know, that South Korea like size is as similar as Hebei, where Wuhan is too. So the Hubei Wuhan situation, whole that province thing, is a whole South Korea country now, you know. So what I wanted to share is your mental emotional state is really important, I think, with this, how we cope with this. Because when you are really panic and so much fear, despair, then you feel very low and depressed, and really your immune system is shutting down. I could feel that until today, until before meeting my friend. I didn't trust any other people, so I didn't go out. I don't really have a, you know, like Korean circle. And also when I went to my YouTube training course, after like joining first time party, like an evening dinner, I could see how it can be dangerous to be spread this virus. While when we have a dinner like that, I knew that. So the next weekend, when the teacher invited us for dinner, I declined to join the dinner because I didn't want to risk, because I knew this can spread out really easily. So I felt like I was making myself what do you call, you know, the people who like bully. I felt like a little bit bullied kind of feeling in a way. But it could be I could make myself like that because I was wearing mask. All other people were not wearing mask in the classroom. I was the only one wearing mask while we had a class, because I knew how it is easily like spreading out, and we were in the indoor. So I was doing that. I didn't talk much, and I didn't take their food when they hand me, and I knew that they could feel that I was reacting crazy and I was being so closed or not trusting or something. But it's not about trust, it's about biology because I knew the science, because I studied so much, right? So finally, after that weekend and that third weekend, officially the government stopped people from having gathering or classes like that. So luckily I didn't have to go to third class. So anyway, yeah, so but like it's really good to be cautious and do your best to have a social distance and self-isolation thing, so you contain. But also at the same time, if you have a close circle of friends or people that you know that they take really good hygiene and healthy and take their measure, and also if you know you are confident to take measure to fight off the virus in case there's a virus, then I feel in my opinion, after today's experience, I feel like for me, I would love to spend some time, small time with a small group of circle of friends. They are only 2-3 people that I spend time today. I will feel so much better and healthier by spending little time with them. And also we are doing some, since we were hanging out together, we had a great idea today. We had a brainstorming, so we will offer online Zumba class. So it'll be great, and we can still we can help other people who's feeling depressed and they didn't work out and they feel so trapped and depressed. Then we will share great talent and gift and offer service for them. And also there's another way that we can make money while we cannot do other regular work, right? So we had that kind of great we had a great brainstorming somehow suddenly. So that was great. So yeah, so I feel in a way, I think somewhat keeping certain like a human connection, maybe even doing this online Zumba class or online some positive meditation, like a gathering stream, like a YouTube stream thing or whatever. Those little things, we need a little positive connection, community aspect as a human being. I think if you don't have any of that, I think you will feel, you will, even if you have a lot of food and even if you have a lot of vitamins and vitamin D or this, you might shut down your immune system from fear and terror, I think. So I felt taking care of this emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual aspect is also important as much as physical, the virus thing, So anyway, yeah, I talk a lot. It's a long video. I don't know. Like, anyway, okay, I really want to share more now. Thank you for watching my video. And if you find this video useful, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And also click the bell button icon to be notified, if you like to be notified whenever I post the YouTube video. I'm gonna really share more often. I think I want to share every day, because I was watching the one of Korea YouTubers video. He also don't get any monetization from YouTube, because Korea YouTube, they are partner with the Korean government, so they want to suppress all this information. So they are all demonetized from YouTube, AdSense platform. So but still many people joined as a membership, and he was so grateful yesterday from knowing so many people joined as a member so they can support him, because I felt so grateful that he was sharing what's going on in China, because he speaks fluent Chinese. So every day he's sharing the news from Chinese Chinese official like a Baidu's website or other website, and videos and translate, and BBC in China version, and he shared all the messages or what's going on up to date. So it's been amazing resource for me to understand what's really going on, and also have a perspective on my own too. He says don't trust anything. You also get the perspective from here and there, and the official news from the China too, and you conclude your own conclusion. It's that kind of thing. So I was so grateful for him. Yeah, I feel like when I have a money, I wanna also subscribe to his thing, and also other men too. And because of those people in Korea, that they are sharing the truth and other perspective and all this, I have a lot of information too. So I'm so grateful. It is matter of life or death too, what kind of information you have. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much, and feel free to let me know if you have any request, and I'll do my best now, since I'm now back to hopeful mode. Okay, thank you. Bye. Oh, check out happyjiyoung.com for some research and health tips or some videos or something that I feel is really useful for you. I will put the link or video on my website so you have a more detailed information than what I'm talking so you can see. Yeah, thank you. Bye.